Part of my mission to try and bridge the gap between different musical styles and different ways of learning or playing your instrument, I want to try and apply some unfamiliar terminology to guitar playing. So, this week, glissando for guitar. Welcome back to Untitled Guitar, where I upload weekly videos about guitar, music theory, music tech, pretty much anything that's going on, really, in the world of music. If that sounds good to you, then please subscribe, and please subscribe right now. Apparently it's urgent. So, what is a glissando? How do we play them? And why do we need to use this new word? Those questions in that order. Firstly, what is a glissando? The word glissando comes from the French glissant, meaning a slip or a slide. In music, it means a continuous, smooth increase or decrease in pitch. When written down, it looks like this. So we start at this note and we glissando to this note. You can also have glissandos where the end note, or indeed the start note, is approximated. So like, as long as you're going in that direction, it's fine. Or even a really vague indication of the glissando shape. Second question, how do we play them? Well, on a fretless instrument, you pretty much just play a note and then slide to the next one on the same string. You can't really glissando across different strings, not easily anyway. On guitar, doing the same thing isn't quite a glissando because we have frets, right? It's never going to be as smooth as, say, a violin performing a slide, but if your score says glissando and you perform a slide on your guitar, you'll probably be fine unless the composer is evil. We do have another technique that more closely resembles a glissando on fretless string instruments, and that's the string bend, something which you pretty much can't do on fretless instruments. Depending on how many notes you have to glissando, meaning how many notes you have to pass, you could either play a slide or a string bend, or a whammy bar dive if you have that option. A glissando of an octave is probably something that you're going to want to slide, whilst a tone or a semitone is probably going to be a bend. Anything in between is sort of your call if you can bend that far, I guess. Or you could even whip out a bottleneck slide, although I'd assume if a composer wanted a slide player, they'd hire a slide player. I don't know. Third question, why should we use a new word, glissando, when all we're talking about is slides and bends? We already have words for those, it's slide and bend, so why would we replace them with a word that's less specific? Fair point. Well, the reason that I'm really excited to be making music at this point in time is that genres are combining. More classically minded composers are starting to use traditionally rock instruments. Ensembles are becoming more diverse, and music is getting really interesting. Well, underground music anyway, the hipster for life. Now, if you want to be on top of that and get the really interesting gigs, then you need to know what kind of language a composer is going to be using, right? You know the language that guitarists would use to describe a technique, but you don't know the language that other people might use to describe these familiar techniques. So, yeah, you can call it a bend or a slide, but someone with a more traditional music education might call it a glissando. And basically, you want to save yourself a lot of time and awkward conversations by just knowing what they mean and in what situation you might use a bend or a whammy dive or a slide. Right, happy? Good. That's it for this week. Thanks if you've watched this, which if you're hearing me say that, you did. I've confused myself. Thanks for watching this. Thanks also if you've been watching Twitch streams, either as they come out live on Monday or if you're watching the archives on YouTube. I'm still really working out what I want to do with these streams, so if you have any ideas or suggestions, please let me know either in the comments here, on Twitch, or on the videos here on YouTube. Yeah, let me know what you think and what you would like to see me do. Also, new album. It's live as of last weekend, which is crazy to actually be able to say that after 8 years. It's been pretty well received so far, which is really cool. If you want to have a listen or download it, which you can do for free, you can go to bluealatar.bandcamp.com. You can also find it on Deezer, SoundCloud, Spotify, Reverb Nation, Apple Music, all the usual places, I believe. It's called Irradiated Hamster Alert, and it's crazy big cinematic prog rock. I think that's the simplest way to put it. As ever, I will see you next Friday at 4 PM GMT. Until then, toodaloo.